Wes, I'm looking for the smile, the pearly white, so I know when to talk. Are you there?
Yeah, wait. I'm here.
I see all that white stuff again. I never get old, so I'll never stop now.
I don't think it's getting any better with Jules either, but she told me I look like Santa Claus today.
Well, so you got a little part-time job in the winter. See, you're all set.
Yeah, I know that. See, that's why I keep you around, Randy. You always find that silver lining.
There's always a silver lining. You can be out front of the coffee shop that we met at in New Bremen one time, and hand out gifts and hear little.
The last time I sat out and encouraged people to get on my lap, they arrested me. So I don't know.
It happens. It happens. You should probably not do that at the old folks' home. Let's stand that out
That's right.
But up to you. Your call. Hey, so today we go ahead. What?
I mean, you were actually taking the words right out of my mouth. I normally say that.
I want to take them back then. No, I think we're going to bring on a friend of mine, Alec Walker, who's president of Window Supply, which is a great window company out of New Albany, Indiana, and somebody that I've been blessed to represent since their inception, really. And great product, great company, great people. And I'm just excited to talk with Alec a little bit about who they are, why they are, and what goes on there.
Yeah, it's always good when we get a call back into the industry or a podcast back into the industry. So it's good to do that. It's our second of two. So why don't we just get Alec on?
Yeah, we could. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's go. Alec, my man, what's up, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing, Randy?
Tough to be any better, I mean, I could be you, but there's only one Alec, and everybody I know says you don't want to try to compete with Alec, so I'm just gonna give up.
It's a losing battle sometimes.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. But thank you for coming on. I mean, as I mentioned, and as obviously I've been with you guys. We've been together since the start of this project at Window Supply, and it's been a blessing, man. It's great product, great people, great service. I mean, you look at the triad, right? Price, quality, service, and when you touch on all of them, it makes life pretty fun, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, we do our best, but we couldn't do what we do without a great salesman like you guys working with us.
You want to say that again? You can repeat that like 12 times. We'll put it in a loop.
Don't get your head too big, No,
we don't want to do that. But thanks for coming on today and chatting. So. Tell us a little bit about, for anybody that's silly enough not to know, where is Window Supply, and just give us a little background of what is Window Supply and what do we do there?
Yeah, so like you mentioned earlier, we're based out of New Albany, Indiana. We're a vinyl window wholesaler, starting to expand a little bit out of windows, but we can get into that a little bit more later. Started with just vinyl windows for post frame buildings. We took a look at the industry with some of our great sales reps, got some really, really good intel information about what some of their customers were looking for, what they were lacking in their window suppliers. And we took what we learned from our reps and from some great customers, and kind of built our business model around that information, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I think any company, if they're going to be really successful in any industry, is the willingness, I should say, to listen to their people and their customers and their customers' customers at times. And that's one thing that Window Supply has always been very good at. Is it's a statement that Wes and I like to talk about. And there's a long story behind that, but it could. And we don't just, well, can you do this? We don't automatically just say, no, we don't make that. It's always maybe, it could. Maybe, let's take a look. Let's see if it's available. Let's see if we can make it work. And I love that, because a lot of times in any industry, I think companies fall into, I think, a dangerous area for growth, which is, they take what they do and anything new comes up. We don't do that. Well, maybe at the end of the day, we still shouldn't do that. That no still could be the right answer, right? But why do we go to no instantly, right? And am I pretty accurate the way we look at things at Window Supply?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we don't want to be, stuck in a rut in the same way that, this is how we do it. This is the only way we're going to do it. I mean, it's not a good way to, expand and grow. Like, we want to take our customers' needs into account and do what we can for meeting those needs. And like you said, if in the long run, once we look into it, we're not able to do it, I mean, everybody has their limits, but
Mhm.
I mean, we're not going to say no right from the start. We're gonna see, and we're gonna look, and we're gonna try our best to make sure we can meet the needs of our great customers.
Well, and I think what's really important with that is everybody can handle, as a customer of ours, can handle, no, we just can't do that, or it's just not going to work for us, as long as you looked into it and you said, you know what, let's give us a few weeks to dig into this, see if it's something that's workable. And if we come back and say, you know what, we've tried, there's just no way, or you need to pay $100 for it, and the only way we could do it for $180, and it's not going to work, then at least they're satisfied, right? Not even satisfied. I think they're comfortable and happy to know that they had a voice, right? And I think that's a key that I've seen since we've been all together, is that we're willing to listen to the customer. We're willing to see if it's something we can do. And at the end of the day, that makes us more valuable to our customer and our customers' customers, if we take that road. And you've been a great leading force in that, so we appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Glad to do whatever I can to, I want to make everyone happy, our customers as well as ourselves. I mean, we gotta listen and do the best we can.
So let's talk a little bit about, so we talk about windows, and there's a broad spectrum of windows in the world, right? Let's zone in just a little bit, or hone in, maybe is the right word, into what we do. I mean, we're not everything for everybody, right? We're a little more post frame, shed related, but we are delving into some barndominium type windows, a little bit higher end window. And we'll talk about another product, as you mentioned, in a minute. But let's talk about for a minute why would you come to Window Supply? What do you need to be looking for? What type of customer do we supply the best? Where are we good at?
So I'd say our biggest thing is lead time is something that we're really proud of, and something that we put a lot of effort into, which was a big factor in when we started the company. Was, we listened and we heard that a lot of people were not super happy with having to wait, 4, 6, even 8 weeks for their window orders. So we wanted to find a way to really, tackle that problem. So we decided to, go about, identifying the big movers, the most common windows that people order, and, keep a large inventory of them on hand and ready to go. So we're able to, our goal is always, if it's a stock window that we have, we want to be able to have it on a truck headed to our customer within 2 business days of when the order's placed. Because we don't want our customers having to wait on these products. We want to be able to get it to them so they can go ahead and get them sold to someone else, or get them put in a building right away. So lead time is a big thing for us.
And I can attest to that. I remember a couple of times, Alec, where I've had an order in, like maybe this morning, and called back tomorrow morning at 8:00 and said, hey, can we go ahead and add these 3 pallets and ship it with it? He said, well, we can still ship it today, but it's not going with the first order because it's already out the door already. But the nice thing, the way we do pricing at Window Supply is pallet quantities, and it's a delivered price, at least in our big trading area. I mean, we're not, if you're in Montana, we have to relook at things just a little bit, but typically you get a delivered price. You know what your cost is, and it's a matter of just grabbing it and throwing it on a truck and out the door. And like you said, that is so huge, because not every customer manages their inventory as well as others. They get in trouble, or people just come in and all of a sudden they got a big building that's took all their inventory and now they're out all of a sudden. And I think it's a great service that we're able to supply those people with product quickly and immediately. But also it's a nice quality product, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, we make sure that like you said, we want to find that good balance between lead time, quality, and price, because you don't want to have to sacrifice one for the other, and we like to find a good balance to where they know they're going to get a quality item at a reasonable cost, an aggressive cost in the market, and they'll be able to get it within a quick turnaround time.
Yeah. And I think that again, that price quality service thing, different points of that triangle hit different people more importantly. But at the end of the day, you got a winner if you meet all those. And I think Window Supply does. I've been around the window world and the post frame building world before posts were developed, I think almost. And that's not that funny, Alec. But it does meet those three things. It's a very high quality window. So what do we have? Let's tell the folks what we have in stock before we move on to a couple of things. What we have white and black. What's you give us the spiel? Not that I don't know, but I don't want to embarrass myself in case I don't.
Yeah, so right now the only colors we keep in stock is white and black. Our sizes we got horizontal sliders, 3x2s, 3x3s, 4x3s, 4x4s, typically all in white and black. We do have the option for grids on a few of those, not every one of those. We keep in stock with grids just because they're not quite as popular as some others. And then we got the single hung vertical sliders, the 2x3s, 3x3s, 3x4s, 3x5s, all in black or white. Also have grid patterns on those ones. And then we keep a few of the transom windows in. We got the 72x24s in both black and white. And we actually just added the 60x24s as well in black and white as a new one that we added to our stock inventory. So, most of the time we can get all those shipped out within 2 days.
And that transom unit is an interesting unit, and I like the look. I remember years ago when a competitor of ours, way back before we got into business, but had this window, and I used to see it in pole barns up high, between the poles is where it's typically used. Not that it can't be used other places, but that's at least in my part of the world, that's where it's most used. And it gives a great look to the building.
Yep.
And it's up high to where, the break-in issue is negated to the most part. But it lets a lot of light in, and it's a great option instead of a polycarbonate light panel band across there. It lets as much or more light in. It's kind of a unique, nice look to the building, and like you said, with the 72-inch or the 60-inch, both will fit between the poles, and so it's an easy install and a great look and works well. But like you just mentioned, adding the 60 inches, one more of those. Listen to the customer, right? We had customers that needed it.
Yep.
And we didn't say no, did we?
No, that's something that we try to do. Like, we don't want to be, set in stone on what we keep in stock. So, I mean, if we have a nice loyal, committed customer, and they're like, hey, we're looking at, stocking this window ourselves, and we'd like to keep purchasing it from Window Supply. We'll take the initiative on that and, bring them in, so we can continue to meet that 2-day lead time, and get those shipped out to the customers. We always want to listen to what our customers need, and fit it if we can.
Right. And there's really a couple of ways to buy windows, right? Pallet quantities shipped out next day or two, and or at the most usually. And then if you're a large volume user, there's opportunities to buy truckload, right?
Oh yeah, we do have some truckload options. Typically we truckloads, we can't meet that two week or 2-day lead time just based off of the quantity. But yeah, that's definitely an option there, and we'll accommodate our customers on those truckloads for sure. Yeah,
that works out well. We've worked together on several truckloads in the past. And that's a great opportunity for a stocking dealer, stocking distributor. That moves enough volume to make that worthwhile. So, and then that can be mismatched as far as on a truckload, it can be mismatched as far as white, black, with grids, without grids, transoms, whatever the case may be, right? As long as it's full pallet quantities of each.
Yeah. If they're ordering by the truckload, then yeah, they got free reign on that one. They can order whatever they want, however they want, however many they want of it. We leave it up to them at that point.
And we're looking at what, usually about a 3-week lead time, 4-week on truckloads.
Yeah, they normally ship out about 3 weeks, and then with transit time, it'll typically be to the customer within 4 weeks.
Yeah. Perfect. So window supply down in New Albany, we're servicing. Let's tell the folks listening. Obviously, we can service anywhere in the United States, right? I mean, it's just a matter of shipping and maybe adjusting freight costs a little bit, but on a regular basis, we're shipping pretty regularly to what, 10, 12, 15 states on a regular basis right now, or is it a little more than that?
I think you're right on the money there. It's about 10 to or 12 to 15, give or take. Yeah, but I mean, like you said, we're always willing to ship to the others if we get some customers in those other states. Yes, it won't be an issue.
Yeah, well, you guys have done a great job for me. I shipped several out into the mountain states. Montana and Colorado and so you do a great job getting them out there too. So, I mean, just if you're listening at some point, don't say, well, we're in New Mexico and they're in Indiana, so we probably can't do business, because I'll just bet you we probably could.
No, yeah, we'll find a way to make it work. It's just like you said, we'll have to make a few adjustments here and there, but we're never going to exclude anybody based off of their location.
What about Guam though? I heard Guam's nice this time of year. What is Guam off?
Oh, that one might be a little trickier. That might be a little more expensive.
One pallet to Guam, the windows will cost you $2,000 and the freight. But hey, it's all about landing cost. But we can do it.
Yeah.
Hey friends, it's Randy here, the owner of Source One Marketing, ibuyfromrandy.com, and I got to tell you, we are proud to sponsor the Building Wins Live podcast and vlogcast. We have 4+ decades in this beautiful industry of supplying materials, supplying services, supplying marketing assistance, and we just are proud to sponsor Building Wins Live and some great guests that we have every single week, many of them from our beloved industry and many of them from outside the industry that still bring some incredible content. So make sure to check us out at ibuyfromrandy.com and let us know what you think about this show. For now, thanks for checking this out. Let's get back to the show.
So going back again at the inception. So, I know the need was there. Yeah. We've talked about growing the business and being available to the customer's needs. Speaking of another product, we've got some availabilities on some, I guess I'll call it a little bit higher end window, because the window that we sell now is a great product for what it is, which is a pulse frame or shed window. Right? It's an insulated glass, welded vinyl, excellent product. Mm-hmm. But it's not necessarily a house window, right? I mean, even though I've had some people that's put them in a house, but we also have a nice double hung or the double or single. I'm trying to remember. You'll correct me, but in the a little bit better quality series for residential, and especially I think in our market that we serve, a lot of our post frame building companies are getting actively involved in barndominiums, right? So they need a little bit better quality to put in that because it's an actual living quarters. So walk us through that just a little bit.
Yeah. So like you said, it's a more high end quality window for specifically those. Like we looked into the barndominium, products for barndominium, and it's a higher quality window for sure. It comes in both, like you said, single and double hung, whatever your preference. We can also get them, transoms as well. I mean, we saw the need. We heard from our customers, like you said, some are in that barndominium industry, and they didn't quite want to put our main products in because, like you said, they're more for sheds or barns or stables or something like that. Not quite for living quarters. So this is higher end. It's got better insulation ratings, things like that make it more higher quality for those more residential type living quarters.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Now, one thing we didn't touch on, and you teased it earlier. So let's talking about customer needs and what they want. And I know several of us guys brought this to your attention. The need to go along with the windows is walk doors. Steel
Yes.
frame walk doors. Tell us a little bit about where we are at Window Supply on that.
Yeah, I mean, so we're still getting our feet wet in it, but we're definitely putting a lot of effort into expanding those because like you said, a lot of people like to be able to get their doors and their windows from the same place, make it one quick stop and shop type thing, get them all together and I mean they've been doing well so far. I mean that largely thanks to our great salesmen out there, but it's growing for sure. I mean we little worried at first, but I mean it's going great so far. It's a solid steel, solid frame doors. And yeah, I mean we got them in black and white. We got some 9 lights, some half lights, and yeah, we're definitely it's definitely starting to grow for sure.
Yeah, and I love that we don't want to beat that to death, but listen to the customer. You're so right. There's certain things that people want to buy together, and windows and doors just go together like a hand in a glove or something.
Oh yeah.
People expect to buy windows and doors together, or prefer to buy windows and doors together, or at minimum, it makes their life easier if they can cut a PO and take care of their door needs, their window needs at the same time. So, again, it's available now, and like you said, we'll probably keep expanding that line just like we did as the needs come. So, I would encourage any of the builder customers or suppliers out there. As you've kind of already heard, Alec doesn't say no automatic.
No.
We can bring it to the table. I think you will agree with this, that we'd rather you bring it to the table and we spitball it and we just get back to you and say, you know what, thank you. Please bring us another idea. This one's just for now can't work.
Mm-hmm.
We'll tell you why. We'd rather do that than to have you sitting there going, man, I guess I'll just buy this from somebody else because Window Supply doesn't have that in their catalog. We would love a shot at that, right? Let's look at it. If there's a need and it's a big need, and it has to be a need that's not niche oriented, right? If you're the only guy in the country, well, unless you're buying truckloads, that's a different story, I suppose, right? But it's got to be a product that is needed out there. But the thing I've always found is like in meetings or anything else, everybody's afraid to say something because nobody wants to ask a dumb question. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that most times, if in a meeting or a speaking event where you're listening to a speaker, there's probably somebody else has that same question.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same way here. If you're sitting in Des Moines, Iowa, and you're going, man, if these guys just had X, whatever X is, there's probably a guy in Pennsylvania and Ohio and New York State and Maine and whoever else there's thinking the same thing, right?
Yep.
It's the industry's different in different parts of the country a little, but not as much as you'd think, right? And if a pole barn builder, for example, could use it in Iowa, they probably could use that in New Mexico or Texas or wherever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, we like to keep the mindset where it's there's no such thing as a dumb question. If you don't, for the most part. But we would much rather you ask us and have us look into it. And I mean, we're not, like you said, we're not going to be like, no, right off the bat. No, I mean, we're going to take the question and we're going to look into it. And if it comes back as a no, I mean, there's only so much we can do, but I mean, who knows? It can come back as a yes. You never know where it's going to go.
Well, and even no may be just no today too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It just may be, that's not going to, if you need it like next week, that's a pretty solid no, probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that doesn't mean next time around, or that doesn't mean if this is an ongoing need that we may not get there. But I know the response time has been great as far as looking at new products, inventory. What if you had to just pick the top one or two things, and we've probably touched on them, but what's people's experience going to be? What are people going to walk away from after their first dealings with window supply? What are they going to say?
Quick, like to say, pretty quick on the response. We're flexible. We're flexible. We're always gonna, work with them on their needs, and just gonna do the best that we can to help everybody out.
Well, the one thing I've noticed too, I would add to that is all companies have to have policies and procedures, right? You just have to. Otherwise, you just show up and you don't even know what you're going to do today, right?
Right.
But with that said, I've always noticed with the few little situations I've had, and every company has something come up, something shipped wrong, something got broke, whatever happened. All I know is, and I appreciate as a rep, and I know customers appreciate, is the first response from the office, from you folks at the office, is, what do we need to do to take care of the customer?
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll figure out later, whose fault was it? Do they owe us? Do we owe them? We'll worry about that after the fact. The first thing is, what do we need to do to take care of this guy today or gal, right?
Yep.
And then we'll figure the other out later. And because I know there's one of the things, I'm on a kick with this lately because it bugs me, but policies, I get them.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times people will use the term, well, it's not our policy, or that's against our policy. Well, guess what? It's against my policy to keep buying from you. So there, I think I win because I got the credit card, right? It's like at some point.
Yeah.
With that said, I always understand, and I always want to throw a caveat into that. If I'm asking unreasonable stuff as a customer, because customers can be wrong, they can ask for unreasonable things, and I think if you deal with them on a regular or on a purposeful, we're here to take care of you standpoint. If I got to deliver that bad news and say, dude, this one, I'm sorry, it's just no. I mean, you dumped them in a ditch for 7 weeks, and now you're wondering why they're dirty. I mean, that's kind of not my deal. Not that I ever had that happen, but sometimes you earn the ability to tell people, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like that you guys have done is, even when it's been, I can't do that, Randy, but you always have the but.
Mm-hmm.
But I can do this. Okay, I can live with that, right? And the customers can usually live with that. I can't do exactly what you want, but I can do the next best thing with that work.
Yes.
Right. That takes 98% of your irritation out of the deal. And and I agree to what you said. I think that's probably the greatest thing about our customer experiences that I get feedback from, and being and representing the company, is I get we just want to take care of you thing. We appreciate the business. We're customer oriented, and it happens to be windows and doors that we're selling right now, right? We could get into some other widget that's totally unrelated, and you'd get the same type of commitment to service because there's a everybody from top to bottom cares, starting with yourself. So we appreciate that, and I know the customers do as well. So
yeah, I mean, it's like you said, policy is important to have in a company, but having it completely set in stone isn't always the best way to go about it. And even if, like you said, if there's something that we can't do, we always want to be able to give you options on other ways to go about it if it's something that we can't do. We want to have that flexibility to work with the customers.
Right. Yeah. I know, and I've never had this with window supply, but one of my pet peeves of the world is, you call in someplace, did this ship? No. And then stone silence.
Yeah.
If I asked, did this ship, would you not assume that maybe I wondered, if it didn't, when is it going to?
Yeah.
But there's never that second answer, right? There's always, you got to dig for that. And I think if you just offered that, like, for example, I come say, hey, did this order for Billy Bob's pole barns ship?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Randy, nope, it didn't, but it's going out this afternoon on the truck. Boom. That's all I need.
Yep.
I can't call back Billy Bob and say it didn't ship, because what's he going to ask me? Okay, when is it going to ship, Randy? Yeah. Oh, that's a good question, right? And I think that comes back to some common business sense that, boy, sometimes we don't use in any industry, but we do such a good job with that. But so I want to be cognizant of your time, because you probably got windows to get out for me. So I want you to get back to work. What, Wes loves the SAQ. Oh, look at that. He knew it was coming. Because I forget. Anyways, what's a should ask question? Now, what we mean by this, I guess, Alec, is if you're just wandering around in New Albany and somebody says, "Oh, you're with Window Supply," or just out at a trade show or whatever the case may be, what do you wish people would ask that they don't always ask, that you just said, you ought to just ask me this question, I'd tell you?
That's a good question. It's
I like stumpers.
Yeah, I guess it's just a broad question, but it's mainly just like what's the main business model that Window Supply is based on, because it kind of covers all the things that we like to represent, and it really gives us that opportunity to tie in the three things on the triangle: the quality and the price and the lead time, and it gives us a good opportunity to really dive in on how we like to differentiate ourselves from other window suppliers. It gives us that opportunity to really nail it in on what exactly we do best, that at least that we think we do best in the industry.
I love that answer. That's a perfect answer, because I think if people ask, I would love people to ask us more. Why Window Supply? There are other windows,
right?
And they're fine. They're nice. We're not the only people that have nice windows, right? There's nice windows all over the place. Why Window Supply, right? Exactly. And it goes way beyond. The quality has to be the quality, and we have great quality. But it's those others, and we have a very fair price. The one intangible that's always out there, the one big elephant in the room, is always that service part of it. And that's from lead times to callbacks to doing what you say you'll do, to solving problems, to not quoting policy always, but I have an answer. I'm going to find an answer. Right. Give me a few minutes, I'll get back to you. Whatever that is, I think that's the real key. That if people say, why do I want to deal with you guys versus this other Windows company? And I think if you ask that question as a customer, and then give us a shot, I think you're going to like the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely agree. Yep.
I love it. So what's going on? Anything else in New Albany I should know about? Do I need to come down there and hang out and go to dinner or something? I'm just looking for dinner.
You're always welcome. Always welcome. Come down and have some dinner with us.
Well, that was just my way of inviting myself. So I don't think we did it last winter before we had Christmas together, or not Christmas itself, but
good Christmas party for sure.
Yeah, we did. That was a good time. Well, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Appreciate what you guys do for the industry. I appreciate what you do, Alec, and what you do for Window Supply. Can't recommend the company enough. And that's it, man. Just appreciate you being on and sharing the word of Window Supply just a little bit for everybody. And appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah. Appreciate everything you do, and I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. All right, buddy. You go make it a great day, my man. Appreciate you. All right.
Thanks.
Alec Walker, Window Supply, the president down in New Albany, which is Indiana, which is basically Louisville, right above Louisville. You can actually see the lights in Louisville if you get on top of a hill or whatever. But beautiful little town, great product, great company, great people. You've already heard all that. Anyway, great to be back talking directly into the industry today. And as always, we just keep doing what we love what we do, because we live it, love it, own it. And that's what I need you to do. Ready? Go make today your best day ever. Till tomorrow. Cheers, my friends.